Before authors write, they make a plan. They figure out what they're going to write, they figure out where the information should go in a text. When authors do this, they use text structure. Text structure is the way information is organized or set up in a text. Why is text structure important? Because different kinds of texts are written in different ways. This also means texts are read in different ways. For example, suppose you want to cook a meal. You might read a recipe. A recipe is written in a certain way. It is written as a set of steps. It tells you what you need to cook or how you cook the meal. It tells you how to cook the meal. You follow the steps in a certain order. When you follow the steps correctly, you will have cooked a meal at the end. The text structure of the recipe is important. A recipe is not written like a story. For instance, it does not have characters or narrator. It doesn't begin with, once upon a time there was a recipe. It's also not written like a thank you letter. It does not begin with, dear reader, thank you for this recipe. A recipe would not make sense if it were written in either of those ways. There are many different types of text structures, and here are some of the very common ones that we see. Process. So when you have the process, it's a set of steps that explain how to do something. You know, what kind of writing would use this text structure? Something like a recipe, a sewing pattern, directions on how to build something. That's a process. Another type of text structure would be sequence. This is events that happen in a certain order. One of the books that would be written like this would be a book about the life cycle of a frog, a weather report about how a storm forms. And then you have cause and effect text structure, an event that causes another event to happen, an article about how the moon causes the tides to change. You also have problem solution. This is another type of text structure, a problem and how ideas how to fix it. And this could be like a selection about the growing amount of garbage and how to recycle it. You have description. Types of structure as description, and this is how something looks or smells or feels or tastes. It could be an essay about a family pet. It could be an email to a friend about a trip. Those are types of things that would describe and to be a description structure. The last type of structure would be like a compare and contrast. How two things are the same, how two things are different. An article about how the seasons of the year are different. An essay about how cars and trucks are alike or different. Well, how is text structure helpful? Well, knowing the text structure can help you better understand the information in text. It can help you remember the information too. You're going to do some work here. I'm going to erase these lines for you. You're going to do some work in a minute, some practice, and you're going to look at text structure. You're going to read some paragraphs and answer some questions that follow about the text structure. It's going to ask you probably what type of structure this could be and how it's written, and you're going to choose the answer to that. So this spreadsheet type thing up here will be in your work for you, so that you can decide what the paragraph is. As always, if you have any questions, get on the Zoom chat, send me something. And other than that, we'll get to work.